So you can see that this material doesn't flow really like a liquid. As it moves, it kind of restrains itself. I think I have another. Did I bring my other bin? Let's take this guy. Let's pour some of this out. See if I can make it in there. Now, other than the fact that this is just cool, what is the point? We've now got a material, a simple low-cost material that undergoes what we call shear thickening. Take a little more of that, throw it in there. Why not? And so what good is it? Well, scientists are using this for a variety of different applications. Since it solidifies or it resists its flow, I can put my finger in there and it will sink to the bottom. If I try to pull it out, though, because I try to pull it out quickly, it resists that movement. If I put all of my hands in there down through the liquid and pick it up, I can pick up the whole container just based on the resistance of the flow of the liquid. Now, of course, now I'm covered with slime. But you still say, okay, well, what good is that? Get a bucket of water down here. I'm going to rinse my hands off. What good is that? Well, scientists are using this for a variety of different applications. One of them are even in things like body armor. Now, imagine you had a material. Kevlar, if you shoot someone with a gun with Kevlar, it will stop a bullet. If you stab them with a knife, it'll go right through. So a sharp, pointy object will go right through Kevlar, cut its way through. But scientists are making things like body armor that are impregnated with these shear thickening liquids so that if there is a sudden stress applied to it, it becomes rigid. Although it's flexible and pliable when you're moving slowly, if it's struck by something very hard, it becomes rigid. So, for example, if I were to hit this, it doesn't splash, even though it seems to be a liquid, because the moment the stress hits it, it solidifies, it hardens in place, but then it goes right back to its soft form the moment the stress is undone. So that's an example of, what we can do with these, shear thickening polymers. And you've probably seen the videos of people online dancing on top of a pool of cornstarch. If you have enough of it and you apply a continual step in motion, you're never going to sink down through it. I have done that in class, but you got to buy a crap load of cornstarch. All right, so what else? So what else is this stuff, good for, other than entertaining us? Well, it's good for entertaining us. So probably one of the coolest things you can do, and you've probably seen this before, but I like doing it anyways. If I just move this camera over here, if we take an ordinary speaker with a tone generator, let's see here. You see it vibrates up and down. If we apply that motion to our cornstarch doesn't know what to do. It just messes with its brain. Let's take a little cornstarch here. Try not to make too much of a mess moving it over there. I put some of my pseudo cornstarch liquid on top of my speaker. It's quite liquid. Might need a little more than that. Just take a little more. What's really interesting is that I don't really need the beaker. I can just pick up a blob of this. And as long as I am holding it and kneading it, it will stay as a solid. But if I were to stop, it turns immediately into a liquid, So I can just carry it over here if I want. and let it set there. And now, once again, I'm going to clean off my hands. If we try our cornstarch you can see because our cornstarch doesn't know how to behave, it starts to go through all kinds of wild proportions because it doesn't know which way to flow. It's continually being stretched in a variety of different directions. So our cornstarch kind of dances all over the place like a living organism. But if I stop, it just goes back to its normal. It is alive. There you go. That's shear thickening.